Welcome back to Hi Fam, everyone. I'm Avital and I'm here to help you to create a strong family culture. Today, I have a reaction video for you that we're going to reshoot because it did not work the first time. Let's hope the audio comes through. And I am sorry, because we are going to be talking a lot about modern marriages. And in particular, I have a sneak peek for you at a challenge I'm going to be dropping next week. I'm really excited about this. Comment love below in the comments if you would like to be part of this challenge, if you want to be invited into it. I'm going to tell you about it more in a moment, but let's start by watching the video that we're going to be reacting to. All right, you're going to let me know in the comments if you can hear. All right, let's just check this out and make sure it's working. All right, we're pressing play.
Hey, sis, he doesn't like you. That man.
Okay, can you hear? Can you guys hear me? And could you hear the video? I just want to make sure that you could hear everything that we're playing so that it's not corrupted. Just type a yes in the comments. Okay, amazing. It's working. Brilliant. Let's watch it together then. Sorry about that.
Hey, sis, he doesn't like you. That man does not like you at all. So he said that he will watch the kids so you could sleep in, and yet he starts playing the drums and making some loud noises very close to your door on purpose. To me, what this looks like is a form of weaponized incompetence, where he's going to make sure that he never has to watch those kids again. He will do whatever he can to make it seem like it was your fault, so you won't ever ask him to watch the kids again. All I'm hearing is while he's banging on whatever he's banging on right outside your door when you're trying to sleep in, all I hear is this clip.
Girl, fuck them kids and fuck you too.
And that's exactly what he's basically saying to you.
In case you didn't catch that audio was F those kids and F you too.
He doesn't want to watch those kids. He does not care if you sleep in or not. And he's going to make sure that you will always be the one to watch those kids. This is just so sad. It's not the one. He's not the one.
Okay, so for those of you just listening to the audio of this, the beginning is a clip of a woman lying in bed. She's videoing herself. We see in the background a beautiful portrait of her on her wedding day kissing her husband. And the caption is, "My husband, quote, I'll watch the baby so you can sleep in." And so basically what I'm gathering from this is that he offered to watch the baby so that she could sleep in. However, as he's watching the baby, there is a banging noise outside the door. And so she's not actually managing to sleep in. It is not as, successful as she had hoped it would be. And then what pops up on the screen is a woman who is reacting to her. Okay. And her reaction to her is really, really interesting. And this is what I want to get into in depth. I want to offer you a cultural analysis. I want to train your eyes to see the types of messages that random people like this on the internet, that celebrities, that movies, that social media keep filtering through to us, keep feeding us. Sometimes overtly, sometimes covertly. This is pretty, in your face, but sometimes it's more subliminal. And I want to train your eyes to see it so that social media and our current day culture doesn't corrupt and infect and bring in a rot into your marriage. Okay. And if that kind of cultural analysis and training is helpful to you, if you would like to be able to see that for yourself, if you want to get stronger in your own marriage, then make sure you are subscribed to this channel, hit the like button, and leave me the word love below so that I can invite you to my brand new challenge dropping next week. I've never done this before, and it's all about scroll proofing your marriage. Unfortunately, a huge part of why marriages are failing today is because of the scroll. And I'm going to explain exactly why and how. And even if you're not on social media all the time, even if you just see memes here and there, or you watch a show on Netflix, it affects you too. Absolutely. So we'll use Instagram and TikTok as examples, but these are just proxies for culture at large. Okay. So let's get into this. Let's talk about why this particular woman is, giving the advice that she's giving to the mother who is sleeping in. Okay. And what that even means. Okay. Let's talk about it. So first of all, I would love to hear your reactions. Let me know in the comments right now. What did you feel and think when you saw this reaction? Did you feel, I'll share my own. Okay. My initial reaction is like, ugh, ew, Ick. I hate that guy. He offered to let her sleep in, and then of course he was useless about it. Of course the kids are making noises. Of course the one time she gets to sleep in, he can't even keep his own children quiet. He's being thoughtless. Like, I feel her because I've been in that situation and I get it, and it's so annoying, right? Did you feel that? Do you have some level of resonance with this woman and empathy towards her? Rita says, I would be annoyed for sure, right? It's so annoying. Like, I finally asked you to do something. I bet my assumption is that she's let him sleep in 100 times this year alone, and she always kept the baby quiet. So why couldn't he do it for one single morning, right? Trivedi says, how dare he? Aren't you a father? Exactly. How dare you? You're the father. Like, step up, be a man, stop being a man child, get with the program. You know, it's so unfair. Mental load is always on the mom. Give her one morning to sleep in. How dare he? And obviously this reactor woman felt the same way. Her first sentence, let's just go back and listen to her very first sentence was pretty clear, right? Here's what she said.
Hey, sis, he doesn't like you.
He doesn't like you.
That man does not like you at all.
So the very first thing that she does, and here we're going to start, our cultural analysis and psychological analysis and really training our eyes. The very first thing that she does is assume intent of this man, right? She assumes what his feelings are, that he, in fact, doesn't like his wife, right? And that he's actually, what's insinuated here is that he's doing it on purpose, right? That he is trying to get back at her, to annoy her, to make it so that she doesn't ask him again in the future. She soon says that, right, explicitly. But the idea here is that the assumption is that if someone is falling short of our standards, if someone is letting us down, if someone's making a mistake, if someone offers us a nice favor but then doesn't quite follow through on it, that means they don't like us. And notice that this is a cognitive fallacy called personalizing. Okay, it's when we take things personally. Her assumption, let's call her Hellcats, because that's what it says on her t-shirt, and it seems kind of fitting for her. Hellcat's assumption is that if someone can't, follow through on a task or doesn't do something to our standards, then the intent that we should assume is that it's personal and that they actually don't like us. Let's keep going.
Oh, he said that he will watch the kids so you could sleep in, and yet he starts playing the drums and making some loud noises very close to your door on purpose. To me, what this looks like is
on purpose, right? So she knows this, what's in this man's heart. Now, I thought that this series of assumptions was bombastic. Like, wow. First of all, have you ever watched children before, Miss Hellcats? It feels like you haven't, because kids are the ones banging outside the door. I promise you. I mean, what an assumption. It is not the father of those children. It is not her husband who has chosen her, who has cherished her, who has vowed to stay loyal to her forever, who has bonded and joined his biology with hers and had offspring. It is not him who is playing drums outside her door. Like, anyone who's watched a toddler for more than 3 minutes knows that toddlers bang and make noise on things. So that is a ridiculous assumption. And it goes again to a cognitive fallacy, right? Assuming, mind reading. What she's doing here is she's suggesting that this mother should personalize it. She should mind read and assume the worst. She should assume that it was actually him who was doing the noise, right? Jumping to conclusions, and that his intent was to do it on purpose so that she wouldn't be able to sleep in. I mean, even just on the face of it, does any of that make sense to us? Do you know any man who wants his wife to sleep in and then purposely wants to fail at that, purposely wants to ruin her sleep for her, takes the morning off to take care of the kids so that she can sleep in, and then wants that whole thing to become chaotic? I mean, really, just explain to me what, even just on the pure facts that we know, does it even make sense? Okay, tell me, let me know right now in the comments. Does that make sense? And watch how culture wants us to assume intent, to personalize, right? To mind read, and to assume the worst. Now, I'm going to bet, sorry, this is like going off on a bit of a, maybe this is unfair, but I think Hellcats would probably say of herself that she cares about kindness, that she has the value of kindness, of taking care of people, of looking out for the underdog, right? I bet that she has all these virtues that she performs and that she signals and that she believes in. And yet, Based off a 5-second video on TikTok, she's already assumed all kinds of horrors about this man, that he's an ill intent, malevolent, manipulative, meditated bad guy. Like he's going to do it on purpose to her. Now watch how she carries on. Okay, watch how she carries on. Okay, so let's just, oh, sorry, I didn't add it to, you guys didn't watch that. Did you hear? Let's do it again.
Never has to watch those kids again. He will do whatever he can from a weaponized incompetence, where he's going to make sure that he never has to watch those kids again. He will do whatever he can to make it seem like it was your fault, so you won't ever ask him to watch the kids again. All I'm hearing is,
okay, I'm so sorry that I didn't play it properly the first time, but do you hear what she says? She says, I know, to me, this is weaponized incompetence. Now, this is one of the things that culture has loved to do over the last decade, which is dropping pathologizing terms and diagnosing people over the internet. I mean, she's never met the man. She hasn't even seen his face. She hasn't even seen a video of him. She's seen a video of his wife for 3 seconds complaining about something, and she's already ready to diagnose him. It's weaponized incompetence. Weaponized incompetence means that he's doing it on purpose. He's being a stupid, clumsy guy who doesn't know what he's doing, so that she'll never ask him again, because she'll realize, wow, he's incompetent. He can't let me sleep in. It's not worth it. I won't trust him in the future, right? That's a hell of an accusation. That's a hell of a diagnosis, Miss Hellcats. Okay. And I have to ask you, have you ever fallen short of a task? I don't know about you, but I've sometimes tried to make dinner for my kids and I've burnt it. I've sometimes tried to stick with a budget and I've blown through it. I've sometimes tried to be on time for an event and I've come late. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I'm the only one who's imperfect and who doesn't always manage to meet my own standards, let alone other people's standards. And so let me ask you, is that weaponized incompetence? When I burn dinner for my family, is that because I never want to be asked again to make dinner for my family? I mean, I'm following your logic here. If someone's falling short of their task, that means that they're weaponizing their incompetence, right? They're doing it on purpose. And look how she introduces this cultural assumption of competition so that it's your fault. He'll make it seem like it's your fault. Like, yes, that's what marriage is about, Hellcats. I can tell you've had a long, fruitful, healthy and loving romantic marriage. Marriage is all about looking for fault. It's all about pointing fingers and laying blame and avoiding responsibility. That's why people vow to stay together and have children and build a home. It's because we don't want responsibility. It's because we don't want to take accountability. It's because we want to shove everything on the other person. Oh my gosh. How heavy is the burden of assumptions that she is putting on us here, right? Like, what is she not willing to assume about this man? Maybe not that he's an axe murderer and a serial rapist. Like, is that a step too far? No. But he's weaponizing his incompetence because he wants his wife to take the fault so that she never gets to sleep in again. Yeah, that sounds like every man I know. I mean, really, ask yourself, all the husbands that you've ever met, do any of them want their wife to be miserable? Do any of them want their wife to not get to sleep in, even if they promised that she could? Is that ever realistic? Do you know any guy like that? I mean, are there bad guys in the world? Sure. But I've never met anyone who's really so gross and jerky and evil that he's doing that on purpose just so that he'll never have to do it again. I mean, what a poor interpretation of human nature and of human behavior. Really abysmal, despicable, honestly, and irresponsible, because now she's got that idea in all of our heads. Now all of us look at our husbands and every time they make a mistake, we're like, oh, I guess he's weaponizing his incompetence. I guess it's competition time. Game on. What? Could it be further from the truth, and could it be less healthy? Trivedi said, if that's a toddler, it's not about the dad. He surely is doing it out of love. But there are some out there who play tricks to not take on responsibilities because there are mother-in-laws out there saying, let her do it. Right. Okay. I get it. I get that weaponized incompetence does exist. What I don't get is the poor assumptions of someone before we even know what's going on. We have no idea. And we're going to talk about that soon in a moment. Sure, maybe there are mother-in-laws, you know, that are like giving tacky advice, like, oh, let your wife do it. You don't have to change the diapers. You don't, maybe. And by the way, fine. If that's the arrangement of your marriage, like traditional marriages work, it's okay. You can do that. There's lots of different ways to make it work. But the assumption that every dad who ever fails at something is weaponizing their incompetence, I think, is deeply unfair. Kitty says, I love how real you are and how you point out solid truth and call out things. Thank you. Thank you, Kitty. She says, no, it doesn't make sense. Exactly. Ruta says, it's like when I make a mistake driving, then I know I did it by accident. But anyone who cuts me off or does anything stupid on the road, I think that they did it on purpose and they're irresponsible. Exactly. And that's another cognitive fallacy. It's called minimizing and maximizing. We minimize things that make us look bad or things that, you know, point to our own accountability and maximize other people's mistakes and other people's faults. All right, let's keep going.
While he's banging on whatever he's banging on right outside your door when you're trying to sleep in, all I hear is this clip.
Girl, fuck
F
them
those kids and F you. Right.
And that's exactly what he's basically saying to you. He doesn't want to watch those kids. He does not care if you sleep in or not. And he's going to make sure that you will always be the one to watch those kids. This is just so sad. It is. No, it's not the one. He's not the one.
Wow. And look at that ending there. Okay. He's not the one. I mean, I don't know if you picked up on this, but please notice when someone says that, what they're saying is you should leave him. They're saying this marriage should be over. They're saying you should get a divorce. You should leave the father of your children, the man that you loved and, you know, swore to spend the rest of your life with, in sickness and in health, for richer and for poorer, till death do us part. You should leave him because he messed up in letting you sleep in the morning. I mean, can you imagine a more powerful message for culture to send us over the most minute, minor, you know, just day-to-day humdrum vanilla points of friction that we all need to learn to deal with in relationships? When you live with other people, these things happen. These things happen. All right, but now I want to turn my attention to another person in this video, and that is the wife. Okay, that is the wife. Dear wife, I empathize with you. I understand. I have been in that position of feeling let down. I really do. I really have. I totally get it. And yet, what did she choose to do? We are so used to this. We're like fish who don't even know we're swimming in water. Here's what she chose to do. Picture this. You're lying in your cozy bed. Your husband has said you can sleep in, and there's banging outside your door. And you're like, oh, why is he such a man-child? Why can't he do it himself, right? You're getting all those thoughts in your head. And what do you choose to do? Reach for the phone, take a video of yourself, and upload it to social media. Upload it to TikTok for the whole world to see. Okay. Guys, this seems normal to us. It is anything but normal. That is completely abnormal. And that is completely self-destructive. It's like hitting the self-destruct button. You took a cozy, intimate moment of slight friction or tension or slight disappointment in your relationship, and you decided, instead of calling your husband and being like, hey, babe, do you mind taking them down to the park? Do you mind closing the door? Do you mind putting a movie on for them? Can we figure this out? I'm not managing to sleep. Instead of solving it with him, you decided to document this and publicize it for worldwide consumption so that everyone can see how incompetent your husband is, how disappointed you are, what a martyr and a victim you are at the hands of this terrible man, of this weaponized, incompetent jerk. That is shameful. Honestly, it's genuinely despicable. And I don't mean to come at this mom so hard, like, hey, I'm sure you didn't mean it. I'm sure you didn't think about it. That's what everyone does these days. But we need to think about this stuff. The scroll is destroying marriages because of exactly this type of behavior, where rather than solving, rather than turning in, rather than having vulnerability and closeness and feminine energy and kindness and actually being solutions oriented, you're using this little fiasco for content, for clicks and likes, for fame. Okay. And what are you actually doing? You're publicly shaming your husband for letting you down. And I want you to imagine just for 1 second that any of this was reversed. Imagine my situation with burning my dinner, okay? I'm cooking dinner. I've told my husband I'm cooking dinner for the kids, for everyone tonight. Okay, I've got dinner. And then I burn it. And imagine my husband's reaction is to stand there, shoot a video, and upload the caption. She said, I'll make dinner for the family. And look at our dinner, it's all burnt. Imagine he did that. Imagine the level of criticism he would receive, and rightly, right? That it's misogynistic, that it's controlling, that it's airing dirty laundry in public in the worst kind of way, that it's, I don't even know. And somehow women, we get a pass at doing this. We get a pass at public shaming. And by the way, we all talk a big talk about how, you know, men are responsible for crime and for violence and for all sorts of things. That's fine. But women are responsible for public shaming. We do the social destruction, the reputation destruction, right? We do social violence to people and we bring them down several notches or many notches and blow things up in public ways, in dramatic ways, in chaotic ways that are going to destroy the fabric of a close connection with our husbands. Now, let's press pause on watching this video and decide what we could have done instead, okay? Here's the facts. Most of us are well-intentioned. Most of us would like to please our partners. Most men want their wives to be happy. That's really their deepest desire, is just to put a smile on her face, for her to just be chilled and happy and grateful and appreciate him and adore him and respect him, okay? That's the norm. And so assuming the worst is always going to get us down a terrible path. Rather than assuming the worst in your partner, assume that they, like you, are trying to do their best. And yeah, maybe you need to troubleshoot. Like maybe this is a tiny apartment. I've lived in tiny apartments with little kids before, and it's basically an unrealistic and impossible standard to allow me to sleep in. Because I'm a light sleeper, I'm a sensitive sleeper, and every little noise wakes me up. So of course I'm going to be so frustrated expecting my husband to be able to keep little children quiet for that length of time. Hey, maybe this is a tiny apartment. Maybe these are tiny kids. Maybe we're dealing with, like, she says baby, right? Maybe it's a 1-year-old. Like, I don't know, you go try keeping a 1-year-old quiet for a while. Maybe it's already 10 a.m. when she's shooting this. Maybe she's been sleeping in for 3 hours and it's like, gosh, it's already time to get up and get them out. Maybe it's 3 feet of snow outside and he can't take them outside, or they've agreed as a couple not to use screen time. So maybe they have set themselves up for failure in this particular challenge. So first of all, we've got to be realistic and fair about our expectations of each other, and then communicate those and troubleshoot them in ways that are possible to attain. It's true. Sometimes husbands are less adept at setting boundaries or at following through on schedules than their wives. And maybe there is a hint of weaponized incompetence in that. Maybe. But what's your part in it? Did you teach him? Did you let him fail? Did you let him take responsibility? Or have you been running in to save him every single time? Do you ever leave him with the kids? Do you ever leave him to figure out dinner or figure out diapers or whatever? You know, when I was changing diapers, I don't know why, I have 5 children. I never really changed diapers all that well. And I often left them a little bit loose. Maybe I didn't want to be too tight on the kid. I don't know what. And it's happened on more than one occasion that I had a blowout diaper situation. And my husband was really frustrated. Like, why can't you close them properly? But did he accuse me of bad intentions? Of weaponized incompetence? Did he say, oh, I know why you're doing this. You're doing this so that you never have to change a diaper again in the future. I've seen this kind of thing before. Women do this all the time. Like, no, he was just like, oh, this is annoying that you keep doing this. Please get a handle on it. Change it, because it's really not great. That is what we need to look for in team relationships with our partners. That we troubleshoot together, that we're on the same team, that we don't take to the internet to air out all these issues, and that we don't always frame them in the worst possible light. What these women are engaging in on this video is classic cognitive fallacies, from personalization to minimalization to mind reading, jumping to conclusions, And even to kind of doomsday predictions, he's not the one. You're gonna end up divorced because there was some banging out there. Those fallacies can destroy a marriage. Those are the mindsets that will destroy a marriage. Now, inside my course, Married You, I teach you the mindsets that will build a marriage, that will build longevity, closeness, romance, connection, co-parenting, all of that stuff. But before we even get to Married You, we're going to have a free challenge where I'm going to show you more of this cultural training, right? I really want to train your eyes to pick up on these things and to inoculate yourself from them so that you're immunized. You don't get affected. You don't get infected with the resentment, with the tit for tat, with the competitive thinking, with the argumentation and the bickering. And instead, you learn to create peace at home, and you learn to create the marriage that you want with the partner you've already got. All right. We're going to teach you the opposite of this type of mindset that's on display in this TikTok. And if you would like to hear more about that, just comment love in the video below and I will send you the sign up details. Meanwhile, make sure you are subscribed, you've got the notification bell on, and keep on living that high fam life. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.